Oh, here we go. Oh, boy, hang on. That sounded weird. Oh, boy. You'd think I'd do that ahead of time. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. The Eric Zane Show podcast from the Impact Powersports studio. That's becoming a tradition. Give that thing a whack and off we go. So glad that you are here. We have dogs that have calmed down, and that makes me happy because they weren't a second ago, which means I'm trying to get my work done while screaming, "Shut up! Knock it out! Oh, my God!" My gosh. Excited because today is the day of Great Food Giveaway 4 with tampons. And still, the genesis of this is really fantastic. It took a few attempts for you, the audience, to get through to my thick skull that we should do it. It was the first guy, Denny Porter, on Thanksgiving 2020. Hey, I want to give away some food to a family for Thanksgiving. Not enough time. And I was right. And besides, it was like one person. I was like, I don't want to just give away one. Come on now. We have to have some oomph behind it. I mean, it would be on brand if my little podcast gave away one meal. I guess that's better than none, you know. And then the suggestion was made again, and I just happened to, hey, this guy Denny wants to give away a meal. And then you know who you are. I'm not exactly sure which particular person. I'm guessing one of the usual suspects live on the chat said, hey, well, let's do a food drive. Megan right away said, yeah, you can do it at Irvine's. That's a perfect place to do it. Like, well, all right, I guess so. Let's do it. So it was kind of like you shoved me into it as an audience. And I was, all right, I'll do it. And now it's like, fuck yeah. A couple phone calls were made to Meyer, this guy, Joshua Rockhold, helped me organize the food. He helped me logistically because when you buy that amount, a little weird to just go in and clean out the shelves. It's much easier to just have someone pull the food for you, get it all organized. So that was up and running. And then I had Mike Ball, who knows the guy that I'm talking to. Ball delivers his confectionery goodness, his little Debbie snack, so he knows that guy. And then Mike is instrumental with picking up the food and hauling it all to Irvine's. And then we boxed it away. And about the only drawback was there were former Zaniacs there who probably beaten off onto the food. But whatever, it's neither here nor there. But after we were finally able to weed them out, we've been able to have a fantastic event. Sorry, I had to go there. It's still got to be me. So here we are, Great Food Giveaway number 4. Now, last year, I was like, fuck that. We don't even need the former Zaniacs. Let's double the amount of money that we collect for food, which we did. And we bought 200 meals. But it was a little bit of a setback, in my opinion, because we had difficulty giving it all away. This year, it's the opposite. I wish we had the 200 meals because there's been enough chatter about the event. What with yesterday's public radio appearance, not so fast. Public television, that fight scene in Anchorman with who's the guy smoking the pipe, public TV, and that great Anchorman fight scene. Tim Robbins, I think. Yeah. Anyway. And then Fox 17 helped out, and you've all shared it, so away we go. We added this year the addition of tampons. And I just saw images that Megan sent of boxes and boxes. They went ahead and made all the purchases, Megan and Jamie. And holy shit. We are talking a lot of feminine products. People pull up today, Irvine's, Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid and EV. I imagine they'll be lined up beforehand, and we will be all set, and then we'll just start giving the food out then. But, you know, I mean, it's going to be a slammed event, to be sure. If you'd like to just visit and see us doing our thing, just to hang out, I mean, honestly, we've got all the hands we need, but I'm not kidding you. The more people who show up to just hang out, it just looks more welcoming. You've got people who are driving up who are in such a bad spot, they can't afford a ham. So with an outpouring of hello, how are yous, we love yous, and virtual hugs and high fives and waves and regular hugs and whatever, I don't know if we'll be kissing, that will probably move the meter with them on an emotional level, as well as they get a great meal and maybe some tampons and maybe some pet food. Thank you to the Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance for joining us at the event. They kind of, that connection was made early on, the very first one. They've been with us the whole damn time. And if you want more information about the Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance, that's an easy thing to remember. You can check them out if you ever want to help those folks out. They are always looking for volunteers or maybe somebody to make a donation to them to help them in their outreach for wayward pets, not just pit bulls. It's not like they go, oh, yeah, you're not a pit bull, we don't want you. It's all pets. But that's the brand, so you kind of stick with it. Besides, pit bulls are the maligned animal, the maligned dog. It's not nearly as bad, I don't think, these days. As long as one of those fuckers doesn't, like, eat a baby. I mean, if it does happen, as long as it doesn't make the news. Truth be told, all dogs sometimes have terrible things, are involved in terrible things, you know. Take care of your dogs, for God's sake. I mean, let's be honest. If Bruce is over here, or O'Neill, the calmest dog in America, and a baby comes up and tries to do paper mache and cut off his ears, I'm guessing he's going to get pissed off. So that is today. We're going to get to Irvine's right around 2 p.m. Mike Ball he's picking the food up today at noon from Meijer in his vehicle, in his trailer. And then he hauls it over to Irvine's. We box the food, and then people show up and we give it away. We just give the food away. Then afterwards, we head over to the world famous Beltline Bar, and we do our thing. Entertainment is Hurricane Ashley. Wow. Keep your cell phones ready to shoot video of something happening. Who knows? A little too cold to wash dogs in the sink, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know if we'll actually have any dogs there. Maybe she'll take a bath in the sink. I don't know. Who knows? Chris, of course, pointing out that the Beltline Bar is inventors of the wet burrito. Johnny B0, who made his first appearance yesterday on the chat, is back. Good morning, you awesome people. Johnny B trying to make friends. That is fantastic. Ryan's under the weather. Got a sore throat. Linda, under the weather. Taking a COVID test. Megan says, stay out of my sink. I think you can pretty much just direct that at one person. I would say bathroom sinks are for washing your hands or maybe dumping the coffee in the workplace. I'm guessing you don't want dogs in there. You will see the world's greatest coffee maker at Irvine's. Come check us out, and then we'll give the food away. It's going to be fantastic. Thank you to everybody who has thrown money in our virtual hat. At final check, I think the grand total is just north of 50 people. filled our coffers with the cash needed, 51, to give us $5,220. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And away we go. Yesterday, I was driving quite a distance to the wonderful burgeoning community of Greenville, Michigan. A new sponsor of mine. And this was my first visit there. We don't officially start talking about this facility until February 1. But it is my first venture into the cannabis industry. This new sponsor, starting February 1, is Green Medicine Shop in Greenville, Michigan. Now, this is a unique scenario. I have to really work hard to turn the marketing around that they are spending money on into a success. And this is why. This is interesting. Shawnee and Matt are the owners, husband and wife team. Put their life savings into this business. It turns out that though recreational marijuana in Michigan is 100% legal, in your community that you live in, the quote-unquote board, in this case, a 7-member team in Greenville, Michigan, can make a ordinance to make it so that you can't sell it. Greenville is one of those communities. You have 7 people on the board. 3 voted yes. We want recreational. There is a tremendous dollar value that flows into the community, and if you either you smoke it or you don't. They're not gonna be like convincing people to go smoke it. It's just if you do, you get it from that place. Well, the board said no, not in our town. So Green Medicine Shop, they've been in business for a bit, not that long. They are a medical cannabis facility. The only difference is to purchase their cannabis, you need a med card. And those are very easy to get. Literally, you can get it in 24 hours. It's a phone call. So people come in, they show their fucking card, whatever, and then they buy their cannabis. So I walk in. I'm in the back room with all of the product that is grown from people locally. And then, they do their thing, and then they sell it. And there's a lot of variables that are involved with medical cannabis that are different than recreational. And we'll get into that as time passes. But these poor people are just trying to make a living. And these people that run the board, they're like, oh, no, not in our town. And they're like, well, yeah, but you understand that our projections show tens of thousands of dollars to the Greenville community when the money is all spent. Why not? And they're being total assholes about it, the board. So this is the way they're doing business, and it's my job. This is my plan. For those of you that partake, and I don't, but I'm going to lead the brigade of people in the audience who do partake. So the plan is, in addition to normal marketing that you hear on my show, I said to them, I go, I am going to have show field trips to come see you, to actually hand deliver you my audience on an Eric Zane Show podcast, cannabis field trip. We'll meet like at the local park and ride here, and then we're going to drive up 45 minutes to Greenville, Michigan, and you're going to buy pot. By the way, there's differences in the grade of medical cannabis as compared to recreational. Medical cannabis has more of the stuff you want in it than recreational cannabis. I don't know enough to explain it, but Shawnee does. She's a pharmacist. A pharmacy tech by trade. Or she was. She's not anymore. But there's a lot of chemistry involved. Why the medicinal cannabis is better than recreational cannabis. But anyway, I bring this all up because I was headed up there for this meeting, and I encountered the gift that keeps on giving. I've been talking about something this week that has been a storyline on consecutive days. I encountered something. I want to see if you can guess it. Like people in the chat, I'm actually giving you the green light to try to guess what was in my line of sight as I was headed up to the medical cannabis provisioning center, Green Medicine Shop in Greenville, Michigan. Let's put it this way. I started laughing out loud. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Cole says Greg. No, not Greg. Aram says the Freeburn Hot Wings billboard. Chris says the Zaniac in their natural habitat. Joe Martinez says my van. And yes, I look up in the rearview mirror and I'm like, what type of asshole drives around in a commercial van that's all beat to fuck? What kind of sick fuck Mexican loser is going to be doing that, driving around in a van all fucked up? Only a real asshole would do this. And there it is, the van I've been talking about all week that was in my driveway, the one that Chris, the Mexican, I think Chris is a Mexican, fucked up right on 131 and then brought it back to my house and left it there and didn't tell anybody. And Joe Martinez, his little birds were flying around. They saw the incident happen and informed them that Chris, the Mexican, fucked up his fucking work van. Oh, my God. I mean, it's been for days now I've been talking about it, and I look up yesterday after just telling the story of how that all unfolded, and then in my rearview mirror is this fucked up van. I immediately pick up the phone, stop looking at the road, merge onto 131 North off of 196 West, and text fuckface, hey, are you driving around? Is that you driving in that fucked up van? Oh, my God. He says, no, that's Jordan. Chris says, was it rapidly approaching in the rear view? I see David is in here. I'm guessing that's David, America's favorite Italian Chinese dude. David is number 2 in the company. Of course, Senor Martinez is the big swinging dick at A&E. I'm guessing that's David. Jordan was driving it around, and I actually wrote to Joe. I go, hey, man, I saw him. Holy shit, it's following me. This is fantastic. I said, I need to let you know, though, I didn't see any suspect driving. Everything was on the up and up. There wasn't any weaving in and out of traffic. Okay, those fuckers are never going to drive bad again. Okay? You know, as the dust settles on this, hopefully Chris doesn't lose his job. I don't think he will. I mean, he's going to pay for the repair. But that motherfucker has learned a lesson. He's been humiliated on the podcast for his fucking driving. All right? You can't be bumper to bumper like you're trying to get into America at the border at Tijuana, fuckhead. Get off people's ass. You know that kid from now on is going to be 2-10 on the wheel. Eyes forward. Don't you dare try to contact him while he's driving that van. Aram wants to fuck with my sponsors today. You know how I feel about that when you do that, don't you? I mean, it's one thing if I'm busting balls about that. That's a yellow card. In fact, I'm going to give you 2 yellows to earn a red for the comment. If they can't even drive, I am concerned about their ability to fix HVAC equipment. I usually come down hard on people who attack the sponsors. So you're about to eat some time here. Yeah, shut up. It's okay for me to say something about the driving. It's not okay for you to dog my sponsors. Fuck you. Eat 10 minutes. One day you'll learn. Joe Martinez says that Chris. Is Chris Mexican, by the way? I mean, I got to start labeling him with some type of, with some ethnic slurs. Joe Martinez says he's still trying to figure out how I knew. Aram says he doesn't work on HVAC equipment. He's the assistant. Jordan has been spending a year learning the trade. That's why he was leading the install after Senor Martinez handed it off to him. And then Joe shows up and checks the work, make sure it's all okay. His fucking job is to get in that van and go get the parts and then smash into other motorists. Can you imagine if Joe said didn't make that kid pay for it? He would have lost money on this job. Joe says yes, he is in fact Mexican, but not as sexy as he is. That I believe. All right. So the A&E Heating and Cooling work van is the gift this week that keeps on giving. Maybe if you see it out in the wild, send me a picture. God, that thing's been everywhere. Yesterday, I was here doing my thing, and when I was out at the Green Medicine Shop visiting those folks, Pooh Bear came home, and then she left, and then I got home. I have some work to do. I forgot to post the Patreon bonus podcast, so I sat down here for maybe 5 minutes. Let the dogs out. Let them back in. Come up here. Sit down for 5 minutes. Do some boring shit. Get up. Walk over. And at the bottom of the steps, Darla is chewing on something. And this is not a good sign. It's like, what? I wonder what we have now. I wonder what type of piece of clothing or shoe. And it's, well, an entire... Like when you buy 8 Kit Kats in a package to put for stocking stuffers, she has the whole package. And she's chewing away. She's getting into them. I was like, uh-oh. So I go there, and there's one completely empty wrapper. She has gotten into one full Kit Kat and consumed it all. And then she's also has another one open and is starting to get after that. So I gather all of this up, and then I get her away from it. And then right away, now the next step is you got to do the math. You have to figure out how much chocolate the dog has consumed. Now, I'm enraged. I want to get a hold of Diana to yell at her, and I'll explain why in a second. But I first did the math. I looked up that a dog can consume safely 1.5 ounces or less per 10 pounds of body weight. So let's see, that's 3 ounces for 20 pounds, 6 ounces for 40 pounds. She's north of 40. So north of 6 ounces of chocolate is like, because what happens is it just fucks them up and their heart explodes and they die. So I'm like, oh, fuck. Am I going to have to take, because this has happened before in our house. O'Neill got a hold of Halloween candy and did this same thing. And we had to take him in and then they make him throw up. It was horrible. If you don't do it, I mean, over like several hours, the dogs could get sick and die. So I'm freaking out. Diana's at the YMCA. First, I do the math. So she's consumed one full Kit Kat. The whole weight of the Kit Kat is 1.5 ounces. And the whole thing is not chocolate. In fact, I would say most of it is wafer. Most of the actual 1.5 ounces isn't chocolate. So even if the whole thing was chocolate, if she ate a 1.5 ounce chocolate bar, she's still not going to die. But it was a little disconcerting. I was like, oh, fuck, Jesus, son of a bitch. Now, then how did she get this? Now I start backtracking. Where did this come from? It turns out that Diana went to the store yesterday to buy all of the stocking stuffers, and she bought 4 or 5 gigantic plastic Meyer bags, with the plastic handles, full of M&Ms, all these different candies. And I don't know how she did this. She went to, that story, that kid that shot up the school, Ethan Crumbly, and the mom and dad bought him the gun and threw it in the sock drawer. This was more egregious than that. The only way this could be more egregious is if Diana took all the candy, opened them, and put it in dog bowls and said, here you go, eat up. Because it's laying in the middle of the goddamn floor. Candy, bags of it. And I'm like, what the fuck? She left it all there on the floor. So now I texted her, I need you to call me right now. Actually, I texted her before I had figured out how much that Darla had consumed, because I wanted to know the one that she actually ate, if she had opened that herself and had a snack or something like that. So I wanted to get to the bottom of it. So I called her at the Y. She didn't pick up, and I wrote, I need you to call me right now. She calls me, and I go, did you eat any of this? No. Okay. Now, at that point, I had learned that she is not in peril. So I'm starting to plane out. Equilibrium. Okay, the dog is not going to die. But I'm super annoyed that this happened. So I go, did you go shopping for a bunch of candy? Yes. Where'd you put it? In the bedroom, on the floor. And I go, 4 dogs roaming the house at all times, 2 cats, and you put it on the floor. And right away, the trigger is now in play. She has enacted the stubborn Irish asshole redhead I don't know, Gene. She was real standoffish and dickish about it. Well, who just lets them wander the house? And I'm like, I turned around for 1 second. I had no idea there was a candy feast on the ground. when we get home, we let the dogs out. I don't take ground beef and throw it on the floor. Now, I kept it cool. I go, well, you came home and you set all that candy on the ground. I mean, with 4 dogs? How'd that even happen? And I said it like I'm saying it to you. I didn't say, hey, fuck face, like I wanted to. Boy, did I want to. So I kept it cool, and I said, I think the dog's going to be fine. Time passes, like 2 minutes, and she calls me right back. Now, at this point, when I see the phone ringing, I know, okay, she knows full well this is on her. Okay? And it's at this point, somehow, I don't know if it's the season or what, but this weird thing happened. I couldn't believe it. Without any snark, full of sincerity, I heard these weirdo words. It's tough to remember because I don't really hear them that often, but the words were, I'm sorry? Wow, that was something. It was like a different language. And I go, it's okay. Dog's fine. But I don't know. Maybe just be a little more aware. Holy shit. God damn. So that's it. You know, with me, I'm pretty great because as soon as I hear those magic words and not trying to hear her blame me. Now, what I wanted to hear was, hey, I'm sorry I did that, and I'm so sorry I blamed you. I'm an idiot. That's what I should have heard. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers in this household. I noticed that none of the bitches listening to this show are weighing in with what they should say, and that is, women suck. Guys are great. You're all really, really quiet. You're not bitches. I'm sorry. I'm just lashing out. Chris in Buffalo says, we left a bag of semi-sweet morsels out for a week one time. My stupid yellow lab stole it and ate the whole damn bag. That's not the dog's fault. It's your fault, you dick. It happened to be the night we did taxes. That return went right to the vet. Oh, you can't think of it that way. Johnny B0 says, I would be pissed off. Chris says, for easy, an immediate loss of Pooh Bear points, minus 1,000. I think he might be in the negatives in Pooh Bear points. No, she doesn't know about this shit. She doesn't listen to this. Are you kidding me? No one does. No one in my family listens. If they do, they don't tell me. Chris in Buffalo says, my wife just screamed, don't call the dog stupid, you fuck. Oh, yeah, and I'm screaming it at you, too. It's your fault, you dumb dick. Chewy's Purse says, I'm glad Darla's okay. Maureen says, I take 2 little discs of chocolate each day for calcium. I would never leave them where Mocha could get them. Of course not. Back up. You get your calcium from 2 little discs of chocolate? Is it like medicine? Is it medicinal that's full of the supplement? Or do you just go and, get like a Hershey bar? By the way, it's your dog now. The dog is yours. That was so damn annoying. Oh, my God. That right there was real frustration, and I think when you get down to it, most people, Like, if you're in your household and you come home from the store with $500 of chocolate and you put it down in front of the dog and then you leave the house and then the dog eats it. Okay? When the significant other says, hey, this happened. I mean, I had no idea she bought that stuff. I had no idea she purchased it. I didn't even see it in the fight. I don't walk in the house and go, oh, let's see what's on the floor. No, I wouldn't do that. She buys $500 worth of chocolate, sets it on the ground, might as well put it in the dog bowl. Dogs see it, eats it, and then I call her and I go, did you leave chocolate on the ground? Yeah. Well, who just lets the dogs wander around? I go, us? 24/7? The dogs sleep in our fucking bed. Of course they're going to walk around the house. The fuck do you think? So, problem 1, leaves the chocolate on the ground. Problem 2, when I ask about it, gets defensive and bitch and say, oh, yeah, who lets the dogs walk around the house? Kuipers says, geez, you complain a lot. Okay. If I complain a lot, you know what you do, don't you? You be quiet a lot. Because I'm giving you 10 minutes. On this day of giving, now I'm annoyed. Let's see. I've given out 2 red cards in 40 minutes of podcasting, and I have a goal of giving out 8 more. Keep it up. Keep it up. You got boom, boom, boom. You and Aram sit there like the fucks that you are and eat that, Kuipers. Kuipers, you realize your brother has 5 kids. You have 0, and you're 50 years old. What the fuck? Your brother would like to be an uncle. This guy already has to work till he's 400 years old just to afford, like, college. And here you are, footloose and fancy free, living at mom and dad's house, you dick. Johnny B0 says, if Kenny was here, he would automatically get a 10-minute timeout. Oh, my God. You're not kidding. Moving on. My son, Jim, who is 28, has recently been introduced to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show in its current state. He didn't listen to me when I was on it. I mean, that was a long time ago. He didn't listen. He hasn't listened since. But recently, I did a Facebook post about the great Greg gaslighting incident when he screamed down Kelly Cheese and made her think she was crazy. That whole thing I did over a week ago. Well, Jim saw it. And since then, he's been picking on them and paying attention to some of the things that are on there. And he's been sending me updates. And now I get updates regularly about what the fuck happens on that show. He listens just to report how shitty it is. So he tipped me off that the other day they did a segment where they got their hands on a piece of audio of, it was like a montage of different people in the music world using the word yeah in their songs. So, yeah, whatever, in whatever song. And the idea was, all right, they got it via the prep service, so every radio station in America plays it. It was their turn to play it, obviously. So they play it, and then they're like, oh, well, I hear Britney Spears. Oh, hey, I hear Dave Grohl. Oh, okay. And then that's it. You know, there wasn't really anything interesting about it. Didn't have any big finish. It was just kind of, you know, one of those things. Nothing to it. Well, Jim heard that, and he wrote, I just listened to them after your Facebook Kelly segment. Let me tell you, that show is hot ass. Listened for 3 minutes, and I'm actually upset at the time wasted. I wrote, yeah, it's super, super boring. The term hot ass is hilarious. He goes, I just coined it. Wait until you hear what they did. You'll be amazed that they ran with it. So he says, yeah, if you listen to it, just make sure you have like 5 expendable minutes that you're okay with. Guess which artist said the word yeah. So since then, I went back and I've started to listen. And yesterday, there was a moment on their show, and this is going to sound like I'm making it up. Do you remember that old Saturday Night Live bit, Coffee Talk, where the two women talk on like public radio or some shit about boring stuff? This has to be covered on Who Are These Free Beers? They did a segment where they read people's Yelp reviews on our national parks. And quite literally, several times, Greg would read, oh, hey, Yellowstone Park, it's boring. I don't like it. Too much of this, too much of that. And there's like nothing to it. It's just someone's review. And then they're all just going, uh-huh. Wow. Oh, yeah? Okay. What the fuck? Jim says, I don't get it. And they play nonsensical games that are boring and steer people away. So he's picking up on the habits of the show. He just wrote to me, quote, have you ever wanted to know how long it takes for paint to dry? Well, we did. Here are guesses next on today's edition of Boring as Hell from Free Beer. Now, that's probably fake, but my God, I don't know how fake it is. Good news. When I was on the way to Green Medical Shop, I was able to really drill down into an episode. In fact, the yesterday's episode. So we have an upcoming edition of Who Are These Free Beers in the hopper. Next week, we will do Who Are These Zanes again, because that's what I committed to with Ben. And then the week after, we will bust out the new edition of Who Are These Free Beers. All right. Johnny B0 says, I'm going back to work. Hope everyone has a great Christmas. Good luck and have fun at the Great Food Giveaway today. We will be there next year. By the way, I will have a show tomorrow. Christmas morning, Christmas. I think if I start to do a show, I might get my ass kicked. But if I get bored, I may do one. I might even do one on Christmas. The Eric Zane Show podcast, Christmas extravaganza. I don't know yet. You never know with me. We shall see. Christmas kind of falls on a weird day this year. Megan says, didn't Blue State Rob say he'd be at the Great Food Giveaway if Ashley and Tim were there? Is he on a plane yet? He did, in fact, say that, says Stevie. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's no way. Come on now. And why them? Are they like the power couple that you aspire to be? What is going on with that? All right. So the Great Pooh Bear candy incident, we have put it behind us, but that was fucked up. Thank you for watching the show on Twitch, by the way. If you are enjoying the show via Facebook, X, or YouTube, I'm sending you on your way. If you want the full show, go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live or download the Twitch app and search Eric Zane Live. If you ever want to leave me a message, just send it along in the Shoreliner Striping inbox, eric@ericzaneshow.com. The audio podcast is available for you to download wherever you download shows. Thank you so much. The Patreon is where the bulk of my content is. You're thinking, oh, my God, the bulk of your content? It's absolutely true. What I do here on the free platform is, this daily thing, Monday through Friday, but I do a daily thing on Patreon, too, in addition to this, where sometimes I drop, very, very personal stuff that I put behind the paywall because I don't want as many people to know about it, or I like to let them know first and then spread the word via the free platform. Plus, that's where we do Who Are These Free Beers, Who Are These Zanes, the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast. We started doing Who Are These Justins, but that pussy ran out of energy and is no longer doing a show. So there you go. Check out Patreon for free, patreon.com/Eric Zane.